This is the intro to my video. Please subscribe. Woo! Hey everyone! Welcome to Resin Crafting with Chris Collected. On today's episode, we're going to do part 2 of the deer stand jewelry mold. As you can see, I've poured half of this one in purple, and that will be the base of the jewelry stand. This will be a tray mold as well on the side, which the purple has been filled, but not the back of it. So we'll fill that today. And as you can see, this deer, the ears were so floppy, and I think I filled it up a little too much, and so I ended up having to have these two little helpers on the side along with that stand. Alright, so we'll be using the Let's Resin epoxy resin today. It is a 2-part resin. So one part A, one part B, and it's equal parts. Also, you can tell we're trying something different here today, so I'm going to be trying my side camera instead of my front camera. The front camera was really blurry, and I don't know why. Unfortunately, my 2 degrees are not in photography, and videography, really, but I'm learning. But alright, so this is getting all stirred up here. I'm really excited about this project. You know, it was one of those things is you get a new mold in and it's just like, yes, what can I make with it? And the tray mold turned out, well, we'll have a little story about that later, but it turned out pretty well. Make sure to stay for the demolding at the end. I started this for approximately 4 minutes. I had tried cleaning this the other day, and so you can see there's a few little white bits in there, which is all dry resin. And I tried to get it all out. I'm still not very good at cleaning these. Alright, so first up, we're going to use, this is a pearlescent, so it's just kind of an interference pearl. And it will just add shininess to anything that you put it in. I'm going to split my epoxy resin into 2 different cups. One cup will have this asphalt in it, which is just a really dark black. But if you don't know a lot about resin and mica powder, you really would need to put a lot of this to actually make it a solid black. And so I assumed it was going to be more of a smoky black. And that pearlescence is going to go really well with that. Next up, we have gold stars. I bought this as a local store called Bookman's, and I believe it says it's supposed to be for like soap making or something like that. I don't know, but they're little plastic bits, and so I'm going to use them in resin. Again, going to use a little bit of that interference. Just makes it extra shiny. So it almost have like a frosted effect. I went ahead and split them equally between the 2, but I did leave a little bit of clear at the end, just in case. And in fact, in this episode, we're not only going to use it, but I have to make more resin up later in the episode. Alright, let's get this all stirred up. I mean, I know at the end they're all mostly just going to drop to the bottom anyways, but still, I was just like, I wanted to mix them anyways. I should get that pearlescence going. But you can see it's like frosted inside now, right? Next up, let's get the black all done. You can see now it's like a very shiny black. Let's pop those bubbles and get to pouring. Alright, so first up, this one is from a video that I have never actually released. It was technically the trial video for the deer mold. And I had a little bit extra, and so I filled it into this little pot. But I didn't have enough to fill up the whole entire I believe it's a potion bottle is what it is. So now we're going to fill up the base of it. And what's really cool is the tray mold happens to fit these potion bottles perfectly. And so I'm going to actually make a whole little series of making a tray and then making a bunch of little bottles to go with it. Next up, I had said earlier in the video that the deer mold was a little bit of a hassle. And so what happened is the antlers, a lot of it just went away from it. It went away because it pulls towards the center, the heaviest mass. And unfortunately, that was not the antlers. And so when I was moving it about, the little tips just needed more. I probably should have taken a photo first of like the side view of it. You could really tell in the side view, like, oh yeah, if I demold this right now, it's going to be too thin. So I just threw a little bit of, essentially clear into it. But, a few stars, you're not really going to be able to tell. All right, so a experiment that we're going to do today is we're going to flip this little cup over. I've seen this online, other people do it, and you're supposed to then pour everything else around it, and it will do this really unique effect. Unfortunately, I realized really quickly, I was like, oh, I would need like twice the amount of clear for this. I was like, I did not have nearly enough. So I said, pop it, and just do it now, and then we'll just end up swirling it. So not really the effect I was going for, but at the same time, it actually does look really good. I put pearl in both of them, so they ended up mixing really well. So let's go ahead and just stir those. Because I realized, I was like, man, I need so much more resin. I was like, that's not going to work. All right, so now we're going to pour the rest of the clear into the black. And not only am I going to get rest of it, but also just try to get as much as I can in there. And then I'm going to get the rest of that clear with the gold stars in it. I'm also going to throw that in because now that I've mixed them, I'm just like, you know what? Why don't I just need to mix them all. I was like, really, I probably should have just done that to begin with. Put the stars into the black and just been done with it. But, it's all experiment. It's all for fun. Nice, that's all mixed up. You can really see in this side view just how low it was. I still probably could have used with an extra tiny little bit. Alright, as always, let's scrape out everything that we can, as resin is very expensive. But if you noticed, I did not fill up the bottom half of the deer stand. Man, that tray mold took up way more than I thought it was going to take. If you've been around the channel for a couple of months here, you've noticed I've mostly done really small things. And so this is me trying to do bigger stuff and realizing very quickly like, there's a reason why I like the small stuff. It uses so much less. And next year, come back and I'll be mixing stuff up in a 5-gallon bucket at this rate. All right, that's all mixed up. So now we're going to add some more asphalt into this just to have it solid black because I wanted the bottom half of the deer stand to be black. And I know I shouldn't, but I did mix it up in my big one. I was looking nice and dark, but you notice I did not put any of the pearlescence in it. I realized this when I was editing this. I was like, oh, I actually never put any of the pearl in it. This is what happens when you panic mid-episode and you're like, haha, let me go do this real fast. There we go. Now that's nice and full. And whatever's left over, we're going to pour into that deer stand. It turns out to be really good. I like it actually a lot. Sorry, the right camera got a little blurry there for a second. My arm got too close to it. I'm definitely going to pull the camera back in the next couple of videos. And as always, this is the house of improvements. We are here to improve. So if you have any comments, queries, suggestions, put them in the comments below. As we finish up here for today's video, make sure to stay tuned for the demolding video. This is just me trying to get every little bit and scrape out everything I can, even in the other 2 cups. So that's all the rest of the black, and then I'll do all the rest of the clear with the gold in it as well. Because, I mean, no reason to waste it, right? But realistically, you're not going to see those gold stars. They're going to go sink down to the bottom, and where the bottom is solid purple. All right, next up is demolding. on camera. That's fine. We got it back.